Hello and merry meet. Your High Priestess, Lady Lisa, calling out of Philadelphia. How is everybody today? So I've got a request to do a video, and it's been kind of laying heavy on my mind. So I kind of wanted do a demonstration here for you guys so you guys can understand. Being a natural born white witch high priestess today, running on both sides of my family, I'm taught traditionally, and that's the way I'm going to teach. People can either agree with it or they don't have to agree with it, okay? And that's why I'm writing a book that will be very successful, so mo to be. You have it's kind of agitating me because you have all these flame interpretation books out here, and you could Google this, and you could Google this, and you could Google this. Let me give you a prime example. Okay, I work with doom candles. When somebody wants somebody hexed, I'm a master spellcaster, okay? Can't show you the back because that's confidentiality, okay? But I'm going to get ready to do this tonight. Now, when this candle is done and I read this candle to the person, the only thing I'm concerned with is what the top looks like, okay? And what the bottom is going to look like. That's all I'm going to be concerned about when I read this person a candle. Now I'm going to be jumping back and forth, so try to follow me. If you go in and you get a candle and you buy it, okay, try to make sure that the wick is centered, okay? Because if you're not really sure how to read a candle, get somebody like myself or somebody you can trust to read the candle for you. There's ways to also make the wick be perfect, because say you go into the store and you're in desperate need of that candle and the wick isn't centered. Well, there's ways to make the wick centered, and that will be for another YouTube. But if you don't know how to center the wick, if you don't know how to fix the wick yourself, or you just got to get the candle started, well, then you're going to have to, after you're done the candle, you're going to have to know if certain things were done to the candle due to the wick not being centered, okay? So you always kind of want to make sure when you do buy candles that the wicks are centered. If not, you want to fix that yourself. So, okay, here's what's been agitating me lately. When you're interpreting a candle, so for instance, I'm going to give you an example, and I'm sorry again about the lighting. I'm trying so hard in here, but it's so terrible at times. Let me see if I could pull my little magic lamp here. This is my magic lamp. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so can you see this candle? This is just a votive candle that I take with me on parties, okay? And as you can see, there's lines on it. Now it's just, what the heck is going on here? Huh, look at this. I'm pulling all these colors into the hair that's coming out. All right, enough. This ain't even about my hair. I'm just experimenting with it. But, okay, so this is just a votive candle that I take when I do readings, just to have a candle burning. See the lines? This is not a magic candle. It means absolutely nothing. It's just a candle. So when you're reading your candles, whether you do it for yourself or you're doing it to a client when you're done, lines do not mean nothing. That's a myth. It's a fake. It actually is agitating me to no extreme. Oh, excuse me. I'm just knocking everything over. I am just making a complete, utter mess in this room. Okay, so when I read candles, okay, being traditionally taught, being a high priestess today, I don't do all these glitter marks. I don't do all these lines. I don't do all that. I go with what's at the top, how far down it's going to be, the resistance, residue, whatever you want to may call it, and how the bottom looks. Okay, that's what I go by. It's plain and simple. Because all those extra lines, they're new age, and, you know, the flame split in two, and blah blah blah. Come on, it's just all a little bit difficult, and everybody has their own rules to reading a candle, and that's okay. I'm just telling you the way that I was taught, because back in the day we didn't have these type of candles out here. We did everything in a cauldron. We did potions. We made magic happen naturally. Like, not that candles aren't beautiful to work with, but we did everything in a different way back in the day. Okay, so again, this is a hexing candle. I only really work with the doom candles unless I can't get a hold of them, being that I only work with one witch, and I've been working with him for decades, and he makes all my candles for me, which I'm going to be making my own soon. Okay, so again, if the candle, if you go into the store, always make sure that the wick is centered. If you need the candle desperately and the wick is not centered, if you do not know how to fix the wick yourself, or you do not have the time, then you need to learn how to read the candle properly, or get somebody like myself to read the candle for you, because you may read it differently than it should be read, because the wick wasn't centered. So it could leave marks that you may not understand, but really it was all due to the wick not being centered. And it's really simple to fix, which I will do on the next YouTube. Okay, I don't go into the split flame and the color of the flame and all that stuff. I just wasn't taught like that. It's just too much to me. I know just me, period. I know by the way the candle is burning, how it's burning correctly, if it's not burning properly, if the person did not abide universal laws, and so forth. Okay, so again, the demonstration here this is just a regular votive candle. If you guys can see that I take when I do readings, just to have one lit, and there's a bunch of lines on it. And again, it's just it's not even a magic candle, it's just a votive candle, which is proof that if you get this candle, or you're doing any type of candle, and you have lines, whether they're vertical or round or whatever they are, they mean nothing, absolutely nothing. Reading a candle is what you have to look for at the top, the black or the white, and the remaining at the bottom. Did it burn clear through? Did it clear up? Is there still wax at the bottom? And stuff like that. That's why I'm writing a very successful book on truths and things that are being taught out here in the world, which I'm not saying you don't have to believe in it. I'm just saying it's very difficult, and it makes really no sense, because it just doesn't, because like I said, here's a perfect example. This is not a magic candle. This is just a candle that's been burnt. It could have been burnt when I was taking a meditation bath, and they mean nothing. Okay, so if you go and you read the candle for yourself or the person, and you have some glitter lines left and stuff like that, it really just means nothing. What you got to look out for is the black at the top or the white at the top. Okay, and how far down it goes. That also is depending on if you did the candle for yourself, or you did the candle for somebody else too. And that will be for another video as well. And then you got to remember at the bottom, if there's wax left at the bottom of the candle, usually when the candle burns straight through to the bottom, okay, that is an absolute success. Okay, if there's some wax left at the bottom, well, then you have to wonder, does this person have a different type of hold on them, a block on them, and how to release it. Or maybe the spell just needs to be done again. The atmosphere could have been bad. It could have been exposed to somebody. The person might have leaked it out. Your mindset might not have been correct when you put your energy into the candle, the magic and intent, even though it may not be free for you, which I do many spells for many clients. Your mindset still has to be free and available to be clean and clear. That's why it's meditation time and cleansing bath time beforehand, because if you go in, whether it's for you or for a client, with a mindset that is not clear, it will and can affect the magic, and it will not be their fault, it will be your fault. No matter how powerful or badass you are, like myself, it just happens. Sometimes candles have to be, reworked. That's why I make oil for. Why do I always get the hiccups when I go come on YouTube? So I make fixed oil for refixing candles. I make every single oil there is available in the world in my rituals. I make the herbs, and I'm just trying to teach you traditionally, as my book will be epic, so motivate, because it's going to be a lot of myths and wrong interpretations, and it's just like, it's society, it's innovation. People just come up with what they want to come up with, and then you just have people believe in it, and candles are read wrong, and information is given to the clients wrong, or you may be reading the candle wrong you did for yourself, and it's not fair. It's not fair. Nothing against anybody, because they have every right in the world to teach the way they want to be taught, okay? And I'm just out here to clear the air. Okay, so with that being said, remember now, if you don't know how to, if you go into the store, always try to be very mindful of the way the wick is positioned, okay? If you're in dire needs of that candle and the wick is not positioned correctly, but you need that candle to get something done immediately, then there's always ways to fix the candle, to fix the wick, so that it will be straight. Or if you just light the candle, notice different signs on the candle when it comes to resistance and residue. If the wick's more to the left, which is this my left, and you got a lot more black here than you would anywhere else on the candle, well, that's because the way the wick's burning, okay? So you always got to be mindful of that when you're reading a candle for yourself and for a client, because you do not want to give out the wrong information whatsoever. Again, this is my favorite candle to work with when somebody wants somebody hexed. Also, if you did not know about the doom candle, you can hex and unhex on this candle at the same exact time. If you did not know that, you don't have to do two separate candles, because with this candle, it's a hexing candle, okay? But when you're sending the hex, say I'm unhexing somebody, which I am. I'm unhexing a few people tonight, and I did last night as well. And every single one of them have been a success. So motivate, thank you, Mother Universe. Look at this pink. I'm trying to add some pink into the black, and it's just popping out all over the place. This is so insane. You gotta laugh. Laughter is the best magic. Best magic in the world. Remember, it's your life. You got the power to make it what you want to make it. Okay? So remember, everything always starts with thoughts. Then they will come out your mouth, those thoughts. And then what will happen was it will become tangible. So you always got to be very careful of your mind and what it's thinking, because it becomes reality. It becomes tangible. I just wanted to throw that in there. So also, if you guys didn't know, if you are newbies coming into this wonderful world of magic, back in the day when my grandma taught me how to do things, she worked with a cast iron pot. That was her cauldron. And all you have to do is take a bay leaf. Bay leaves are very magical. They're very high potency when it comes to magic. If you smell them, it enhances your psychic abilities. That's a fact. Every morning, or even several times out of the day if you want to, you can take a bay leaf, a plain little simple bay leaf. You can write on it whatever you want to write on it, okay? And you could put your initials on it. You could put some signs, whatever you feel comfortable writing on it. And you burn it in a cauldron or a cast iron pan or something like that. And when I do it, I always call on the northeast, southwest, help my spell to manifest. And I'm always smelling my bay leaves, always. It enhances my abilities. And every day that I wake up, my abilities get stronger and stronger and stronger. Not only because I believe in it, but because, excuse me for using the word, but because I know it to be a fact. And I've gotten this way through manifestation. Mother Universe, first and foremost, that's who I honor. Namaste, Mother Universe. She has given me everything my heart has desired, and I deserve nothing. So back back to the candle, because I have a habit of going back and forth, back and forth. I do that so much, but there's like so much I want to get into one video without dragging it out. So you can do that every morning, like I do with the bay leaf, or you can do it several 17 times a day. You can make wishes with your bay leaves. They're magical properties. Always work with cinnamon if you can, whether it be cinnamon oil, cinnamon powder. It could be a mixture of both. It's one of the most magic property there is out there is cinnamon to work with as well. Okay, and when you're doing your candles, okay, also remember this. Let me add this really quick. I lace my candles, each candle, with salt, sea salt that has been blessed with sage or graveyard dirt. And the reason why I do that is because you also have to remember, if you are a master spellcaster, or you're even coming into being a newbie into this beautiful magic world. Okay, each and every person in this world has, and I got a big party reading. Well, not big party tonight, but I mean, it's a blessing. So I have to start getting prepared for that. And of course, I lost my train of thought. Just that quick. I just lost my train of thought. And it happens often when you're rushing and you're trying to get things done. So, we did the bay leaf thing. Okay, that's quite simple. Okay, so with the graveyard dirt, which is the ultimate protection. And I did a video on how to go retrieve graveyard dirt properly. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to. But if you go into the graveyard and you retrieve the dirt and you don't follow instructions, well, then there's going to be precautions to be paid, because you just can't go do things that you want to do without leaving offerings. You just don't do that. If you're a witch, I also believe that you also should have, if you're working with deities, that's fine, but you also should have a statue of Mother Universe and offer to her every day as well. Now, the best offering you could give to Mother Universe would be love. Love. But what I do with Mother Universe and her statue is I give her nature. I give her seashells, things that I capture from the beach when I go on vacation, seashells. This hair is really making me laugh because I'm trying to add this pink and it's just picking right out. So anyway, trying to get rid of the black and add the pink back. So with that being said, the best offering you give Mother Universe is love. That is the best offering, okay? If you're working and honoring Mother Universe. Now, again, I don't know a witch who doesn't honor Mother Universe. If she does honor anybody else but Mother Universe, now I'm not saying you don't have to believe in God and all that other stuff, because I do. But I don't honor God. I honor Mother Universe. I've never met a real witch who honored God. And that could be for another video as well. This is kind of just like all that junk. That's why I'm writing such a great book, to get rid of the myths and to help you guys understand, because being traditionally taught is really quite easy. It's really simple. Like I said, it's society, it's innovation. Just like with the Bible, if you ever read the Bible, you got the Old Testament, you got the New Testament. You're like, what do I believe, what I don't believe? Well, it's because a man-made innovation, society, and everything, every day, something new is getting changed around and taught. And that's why, as a newbie coming into this beautiful world of magic, you really have to find somebody that you trust to be taught and go forth with that and stick to that, because nothing against Wicca or pagan or anything like that. I love everybody for who they are, what they believe in, so forth. I have all types of people in my group on Facebook. I just don't believe in the threefold rule. I don't believe in karma. A quick rundown why I don't believe in karma is because if there was karma, then all these good people would not be suffering all the bad that they suffer, and all the bad people in the world would not be suffering all the good people in the world would not be suffering bad, and the bad people in the world would not be getting all good. When you take it back to, tragedies that have happened in your life, shootings out of nowhere, that is not your karma. You did nothing to deserve that. That is the choice of us human beings. We were giving free will and free choice, okay? So every day that we get up and we make a conscious choice, whether to do good or to harm somebody, that does not mean that it's going to come back around, okay? That means it's just somebody made a choice in life, and that is the result of their choice, whether it be good or it be bad. So karma, it does not exist in my vocabulary. It's erased from my vocabulary. And again, it's just another label. I don't believe in it whatsoever. I believe in, whatever happens when you pass over to the other realm, being a medium. If you have to bow your knee, indeed, if that's true, then that's when you'll bow your knee for anything that you've done in life. What you do in life does not mean it's going to come back threefold. I don't believe in that at all. I believe people get what they get as a choice of the person who did it. For instance, I'm unhexing a lot of people. I do it all the time. And once I'm done unhexing them, as long as they abide by the rules that are given to them, then they become successful and set free. So with that being said, you just got to be careful, like what you're learning from, who you're learning from, and what you believe, because you really got to go with what's comfortable with you. Okay, because if it's not comfortable for you, then it's not going to work properly. It's just not. No matter who you're following, what they're teaching, how many books you read, what's this, what's that, what you Google, what you pull up on YouTube, it's just never going to make any sense. So you have to go with what's comfortable with you. I mean, there are some universal laws that you do have to abide by when it comes to doing spells and reading candles and stuff like that. That's a given, okay? But a lot of this stuff is it's very confusing and very irritating at the same time. Okay, and I wish I had a candle that was done burning that I would show you guys, but I don't, because say when this is done burning, for instance, before I click off, because the video is getting long and I have to get ready for this party. This candle, after I read to the client, okay, I will rinse it out with regular spigot water, thank who I called upon for making it a success, and then I will smash it into pieces in a hammer in a bag, well, actually a few bags, and out the door it will go. I don't keep any candles in my home, good or bad, after they're done. They get immediately read, the results of the candle, and then that's it. Out the door they go. Good candles just go in the trash after I rinse them out and thank who I called upon and make it a success, because that's the respectful thing to do. But bad candles get smashed in the hammers. Now, again, there's no way to dispose of a candle. It's all in what you're comfortable with, but this is the way that I was taught, and am still being taught, because I have witches in my family who are in their 80s and still practice. And I go to them for help sometimes when I get confused, because I'm always the student before I'm the teacher. And every day that I wake up, if I didn't go to bed without learning something new, well, then I didn't do something right, because every day that I wake up, there's always something new to learn. And that's why I'm on here teaching for free, traditionally, the way that I was taught. So with that being said, being that I've been back and forth, if you are not sure of anything that I said, you can always comment below. I will read them and I will try to clarify it on the next video. Okay, I'm very good with that. May not get back to you as soon as possible, but I do get back to you when I can. Any negative comments will be reported. I do not tolerate negative at all in my life. That's another word that's getting erased from my vocabulary. Okay, negative, nothing in my life. Okay, if you haven't already subscribed, you know how to push the subscribe, the bell button, so you get alerts when I come on. And once I start getting a large amount of viewers, I'm going to go live on here and do some Q&As and maybe even pull some cards. Wouldn't that be super amazing? Okay, and last thing I'm going to say before I leave this video is we take, and not just me, I'm talking about anybody in life, we take the time out of our day to come on and teach. It could be about a car, it could be about fixing brakes, it could be about anything. Okay, so if you're watching somebody's video and you don't agree with the video, unless it's like a real disrespectful video that like is just not appropriate, just because you have a thumb does not mean you have to give a thumbs down. If you don't like the video, you can keep it moving until you find somebody that you do like or you're comfortable with the way they teach. But just because you have a thumbs does not mean you got to give a thumbs down. And if you didn't like the video, that don't mean you have to give a thumbs up either. But to give somebody a thumbs down just because you have a thumb after they took the time out of their day to come on here and help you with what they know and what they were taught, that's just so corny in my book. Like, it is. It's like the most corniest thing I've ever seen in life. Like, you can't get any more corny than that. Not being disrespectful. I'm just being real. Everything that comes out of my mouth is the truth. I don't fake the funk. I don't even know how to fake the funk. Sometimes I'm just a little bit too blunt. And guess what? I can't change that about myself. That is who I am. I guess that's why people asked me to do YouTube videos and like the way I teach, because not only am I teaching simple and traditional, but excuse me for the word but, I don't judge anybody, and I'm just trying to set the record straight so you're not all confused when you're reading your candles or you're reading somebody else's candles. So with that being said, again, you can always leave comments below on something that I may not have made too much sense about in the video, being that I was back and forth. I can clarify that for you. I can also do another YouTube video. And again, once I hit about 450 viewers, I will go live and do some Q&A and possibly pull some cards. With that being said, I have to go get ready for a party tonight where I'm going to be reading again. Thank you, Mother Universe, because I love to share my gifts with people. I love to amaze them with things that I could have not known. And it's amazing to be gifted and be able to share your gifts. If you're not sharing your gifts properly, then you're being very greedy, and that's not fair, because you're born with gifts, which means you should be sharing your gifts. Excuse me, I always get the hiccups, the burps when I go on YouTube. For a long time, I was teaching, but I was not on social media, being a solitary witch. And then I got a pull to go onto social media. Excuse me. And I made my own group. Well, I made several groups, but a very jealous person that was released from my group stole the groups that I had made up. But the one that I work out of the most is up and running and successful. So Motivate, thank you, Mother Universe. She could have those other groups. I can make 15 a day if I want to. It means nothing to me. You know, she bit herself in the butt, because all I was doing was actually trying to help her and teach her. And instead of embracing the fact that I was actually trying to help her, she was so jealous and envious of my powers and that I was more gifted than her. She got to a jealous point where she had to be removed from group when I would have helped her get there. Because just because I'm gifted in a different way does not mean I shine any brighter than you. We all shine exactly the same. No brighter than the other person. We just shine differently. That's all. And we all do things a little bit different. Even if we all have the same gifts, we all do things a little bit different. And that's why we come on to teach. So you can find somebody that you love the way they teach, and you can follow that rule. Also, let me throw in there, if you didn't catch the last video, which I didn't make a full video on altars, but let me just throw that in there really quick. When you're setting up your altar for the first time, your altar is your altar. It's your own personal creativity. It's what you feel comfortable with, okay? You don't have to have your altar in the north corner, the east corner, the south corner, the west corner. You don't have to have objects in the north, the south, the west, the east. You don't have to have certain things to cover your altar. Your altar can be anything. It could be a dresser that you don't use anymore. It could be an antique shelf. It could be a computer desk, whatever you're comfortable with. You don't have to have drapes, altar covers. You can make your own altar cover. You can take a pretty scarf out of your room or out of your closet that you're drawn to because of the colors, and that could be your altar cover. You just make sure you sage everything and everything's clean. Your altar can have 5 things on it, where I have 7 altars and they have about 35 to 55 things on them. Very, very oriented, but a lot. And that's just what's comfortable for me. You can have an altar with 5 things on it, and if that's comfortable for you, that's comfortable for you. Oh, you got these people out here that are saying this has to be here and this has to be here and you have to have this and you have to have that. No, your altar is what's comfortable for you. But always remember that you need to have your altar in a sacred place, especially if you're spell casting as well, because you don't want people around your spells that don't know what spells are about, or can even send negativity towards the spells. You want a sacred, clean space, and that's where you want your altar as well. You don't want your altar in the middle of your home, where I've seen some people do, and then you got family members and friends coming in and out, and they see your altar. Altar is sacred. It's sacred. Just like coven is sacred, just like where you do your spells are supposed to be sacred. Where if you have family members or guests come over, they cannot see the spells burning. Their energy cannot be going anywhere towards the spells, and you have to be in a place where there's absolutely no air, whether you're burning up to death, which I am from all the candles burning, and I got still some more to do. You got to figure out something to do in the summertime, and you got to figure out something to do in the winter if it's not hot enough, warm enough in your sacred place, whether it be your coven or a little room in your home, or in the summertime if you live somewhere where it gets hot, because if it affects the flame, then it can possibly affect the magic. You want the flame to burn properly without anything bothering the flame, nothing bothering the flame, okay? Also, I just want to put out there really quick before I get off, for the first time in my whole entire life, I did a candle for somebody, and it didn't turn out too well, okay? So I had redid the candle. I tried to relight this candle 15 times, and it kept going out, and it kept going out, and it kept going out. And I'm like, something is not right with this candle. Matter of fact, I didn't even dispose of it yet. I didn't get there. I wanted to jump on and do this because this always gives me a little bit more power before I do my readings when I do a YouTube video. It gets me amped up. So I had called my auntie. I call her Grammy. I call her auntie. She's 86 years old, and she's still practicing. And she said, get rid of that candle immediately. You know better than that. The person you did the candle for, it got back to the person that they were trying to send it back to. And what happened was, because they found out, they overpowered the candle. So now, because the person didn't abide by the rules, the magic is a failure. And it has nothing to do with me, because if I was a scam artist, I'd be just like, here's your candle. Poof. It's lit. Good luck. Good fortune. But I don't. I give you universal laws to follow for a reason, so that the magic can work properly. Okay? Because magic whispers. Okay? Especially if people are out there putting hexes on people. It whispers through the world. Okay? So if you're talking about it, or you're showing people, or you're going to other psychics and asking any type of question pertaining to the spell that is being done, there's a good chance that your candle magic is going to fail, because it's going to get back to the person you're trying to return it to. or hex, or whatever the case may be. So I was told by my auntie, who is traditional, who is 86 years old, to get rid of the candle. Stop trying to light it. Get it out of your home, get rid of it, and try another alternative, because this person, some way, somehow, got back the information to the person that was on the candle, and the person overpowered the candle. Oh, and before I go, okay, so the reason why if I didn't cover this, because I lose my train of thought because I'm trying to fit everything into the video at once. The reason why you're supposed to put salt around your candle, the rim of your candle, when you put the candle at the bottom, okay, whether you're using salt that you use sage to cleanse, or you're using sea salt that was done in a ritual by a witch like I do, or graveyard dirt. You do that because everybody has protectors, whether they're good or they're bad protectors, okay? Let's say we have an evil spirit, like an evil person in the physical realm who puts curses on people just because she can. She's always going to have her spirits come try to fight this candle off, even though she does not know who's sending it back to her, unless the person tells her or gets it back to her, okay? So you always want to keep salt around the bottom of your candle. This is a traditional witchy tip, okay? So not only is it protecting the candle from the spirits that are going to come try to fight the candle off, because we all have protectors, whether they're ancestors, guardian angels, spirits, spirit guides, spirit animals, it doesn't matter. So that's why you get resistance at the top of most of your candles, because you have spirits that are coming to fight off the candle. So now you're supposed to have that around the brim of your candle at the bottom, and you sit the candle sit the candle in the middle of the salt. And not only that, but it's protecting you as well. So when the spirits do come to try to fight off the candle, you're being protected as well, okay? If you're doing some type of candle like this where you want to reverse something, you want to send it back, you want to hex a person, you're always supposed to have a mirror underneath. Okay, always have a mirror. You can break a mirror. That's a myth too. That brings you 7 years of bad luck. Come on, out the door that went. Okay, have a mirror at the bottom. If you can't get little magical mirrors, take a mirror and break it. Have a piece and put it underneath the candle. That helps send it back even quicker. Okay, also remember when you're doing your candle, okay, so this is a hexing candle, okay? This person wants something hex, which I explained before. If you don't have an aethum, you can use any type of tool that's going to penetrate deeply down into the candle, because you want all your herbs and oils that you're working with to penetrate this candle, okay? Just cleanse the tool that you're working with, please, before you put it into the candle, as you're supposed to cleanse each candle, whether it be a hexing candle or a normal candle, before you use the candle, because you don't know what type of negativity was attached to the candle prior to buying the candle. Protect yourself with the sage. Sage your area. Make sure you have some rose water, which I make, Florida water, sage water. You wipe down your walls with it, your floors with it. You want to have a clean, nice atmosphere, especially if you're working with fairies. Fairies have OCD, and they will get very disturbed and act up if your sacred place is not clean. And I work with fairies. I love fairies. So have to be very conscious of that, because they will act up. And the next video I'm going to do is working with deities and how to serve properly, because if you do not serve properly, you can wind up owing your deities, and the last thing you want to do is owe your deities. And I'm burning up in here, and I'm running extremely late because I love to teach, and I could go on and I could go on and I could go on. So again, let me really get off of here. But remember the salt at the bottom, okay? If it's just regular plain old salt that you would cook with, or you have in your kitchen, or you go to your local Walmart or grocery store, just sage it first. And, circle the rim of your candle, make a circle, and then put your candle in that salt. I prefer that you can also work with black salt. That's protection as well. But I love to work with sea salt and graveyard dirt. Graveyard dirt preferably. It depends on how much I can get and how much I have, working with so many candles as well. So I use a lot of salt, okay, to protect not only the candle and the person that has been hexed, but myself as well, which I have to be protected as well. That's why I always keep a double action reverse candle lit in my home at all times. As soon as it's done being relit, I relight it. So back to basics. This person wants this person hexed. So as I work in threes, I'm going to take my Atham and I'm going to go clockwise. I'm going to do 3 holes clockwise because I want it to go to them. Okay, so if I was taking oil herbs and I want to dress my candle outside of the candle, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I always make sure the inside is prepared. I'm going to take it up. I'm going to dress it up because I want it to go. If I want it to leave, I'm going to dress it down. If I want it to return to the person, whether it be from me or somebody else, the circles are going to go counterclockwise because you want to return. To send, your circles are going to go clockwise. Now you can work with 17 candles. You can work with 4 candles. I work with the number 3. So I'm going to make 3 holes with my Atham or whatever instrument you're working with. Just make sure that it's very cleansed, okay? And you want to get as far as down as you can so those oils and herbs penetrate. And again, no matter how many circles you're working with, remember counterclockwise is returning or giving it back. Okay, clockwise is sending it to them. Okay, or bringing it to you. Say it's a money candle or a love candle or something like that. Then it's going to bring it to you. Counterclockwise is going to reverse it. Okay. If you're doing a reverse candle like I have just lit my candle, all you have to do is poke your holes in the candle, write what you want to write on the candle, and put some reverse oil in there, which I make in my rituals, and just light it. And that's it. Because it's the ultimate protection candle. You can't get no more protection than that. And here I go, dragging this video on to 45 minutes. And you're probably like, very interesting, but is she done yet? So again, please, 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 please subscribe and push that bell button so you know when I come on. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video. If you didn't like the video, you don't have to give me a thumbs down or a likes up. You can just keep moving. You can always comment below anything that you need me to clarify about this video. If you would like a certain spell taught or something more I can teach about, any negative comments will be reported. And again, this is your High Priestess, Lady Lisa, out of Philadelphia, giving you all blessings, all protection, all angels, all love and light, and nothing but great and great fortune in your life. Don't forget to manifest, because what you manifest will come. So be careful what you manifest. Be careful your words. Be careful what your thoughts are, because abracadabra, I speak my own life. I create my own life. Remember that. So I love you all. And can I just add one more thing? And I promise I'm going to go and you can laugh. I promise. I promise, because I'm running so late. So late. A witch does not have to be in all black. Whether you're good, bad, or you're a mix of both. When I say a mix of both, meaning you work with the light and you dark. Now you say to yourself, well, how can you be a witch and work with the light and the dark? Well, you can. I do it all the time. I work with more light than I do dark. But if you hurt me and you make me upset and I didn't do anything to deserve it, I'm coming for you through the magic probe. You won't know until you see things start to change in your life for the worse. And you could try to send it back, but I can guarantee you Samota B will never reach me or touch me, because I'm just too protected, and I protect myself well. That I can guarantee you. Again, I lost my train of thought, because this is just Mother Universe saying, get off of here, Lisa. You got things to do. You got things to do. You got people that are expecting you to read them and tell them things that you could have not known, which I am going to do. It's going to be super epic, as every reading I do is. Okay. And with that being said, again, please comment below if I can help you in any further way. I would love to teach you the proper way that I was taught. Okay. And I'm so excited about my book. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm in the works now. It was just going to actually be on spells, but I'm doing a little mix of everything, like myths and not myths, and true ways to read candles and true ways not to read candles. And the next video I think I'm going to do, if nobody requests a certain video, is how to bring someone to you or get somebody away from you, as well as a truth spell as well. These are homemade spells that I have made in my Book of Shadows, and they're quite awesome. But you always got to remember, when you're doing that type of spell and you're making somebody do something that is not their free will, it always has the potential to not work or backfire. Just always remember that, especially love spells, especially if the person does not give permission. Now, I have clients who will give permission for that person that they want brought back into their life. And I will explain that there's a good chance that this spell will not work because the other party did not give permission. You gave permission for them, and it's doing a spell that is against their will, which means that there's a great giant possibility that the candle will fail or it will backfire. And when love spells backfire, sometimes what happens is they will leave you completely and want nothing to do with you, or they will be so obsessed over you that you will never be able to, well, not never, it will be so hard for you to ever get rid of them. I mean, so crazy, obsessed, you will have wished it failed before it backfired. Let me just put that out there. And again, you don't have to believe anything I say, but like I say, I'm trying to put a little mix of everything in the video. So again, please comment below if I can clarify anything, something that you may be confused about, if there's a certain spell that you've done and you're wondering why it didn't work, or why it may have failed, or you think it may be backfired, or if there's something else you would like me to teach about. I will do so. So mote be, I promise you. And my iPhone is alerting me that my battery is going dead. So that's just Mother Universe saying, Lisa, this is one of your longest videos. You need to get off now and get ready for this party. And that's what I'm going to do right this second. So again, sorry for taking up your time. If you clicked off before the video was over, I apologize, but just sometimes I have to get it out there or it won't leave my conscience alone. I love you all. Thank you for watching me and taking the time to watch this, and I hope that I did clarify some things and help make things a little bit easier. And again, if I didn't, you can always comment below anything that you may want to comment, as long as it's not negative. With that being said, I love you all so very much. Thank you for watching, subscribing, hitting the bell button, and believing in me as a teacher, as a traditional witch. And I do private readings and I do parties. If you would like my information, just please comment below and I could do that, as I am a master spellcaster with a great badge. My candles and my magic never, ever, ever fail. So mote be, unless you do not abide by universal laws. Look at my little Eddie Monster Pinky Pinky. Oh, it's so cute. I like it. All right. I love you all. I really got to go. Thank you for watching my video. Love and light.